It's Shannon, and a friend of mine is having her son's birthday party coming up this weekend, and it's a baseball / sandlot theme, I'm assuming, because the two wood signs that I'm creating for the party are sandlot related, and I just think that's so stinking cute. I thought that was such a great idea, so I thought I'd bring you along and show you how I'm going to create these wood signs for her birthday party. Alright, so these are a little bit different than the usual wood signs that I create because these are already made. These wood signs here are a pallet style from Walmart, okay? So can you believe that Walmart has this nice wood signs already made for you? So if you don't have the tools, if you don't have the time, this is a great shortcut. So I picked up two of this kind of grayish colored finish. This is sort of the background she wanted for one, and then the other one is going to be a chalkboard finish that I'm going to paint. So I thought this lighter background would be nice to paint over. They also had a light wood, and they also had like a darker brownish colored wood as opposed to like a really dark stain. It was kind of an in-between stain. So I am gonna have to do a little bit of prep work. The finish on this is very much like pallet wood, where it's not sanded down, it's got plenty of splinters and like, you know, bumpy raised edges and things like that, knots. So I am gonna sand these down a little bit. This one I'm gonna sand down quite a bit since I'm gonna be painting this, but I wanna keep this finish intact, so I'm just gonna run the sandpaper over that lightly. Here it is after I've done some sanding. This one, I made sure I took my glove and just ran it over to make sure that I got as much of that roughness off as I could, and it actually did pretty good. So of course some of the finish is left, but I'm going to paint this completely black with chalk paint. This one, I just hit it with a handheld sander block thing and just knocked down some things. I didn't want to get any splinters, and I didn't want to take a bunch of the finish off. So that didn't do too bad. Probably gonna have to use Mod Podge on my stencil for this, so keep watching and I'll show you how to do that after I paint this. Alright, so now that I have brought these both inside, I'm going to take this extra step to seal the finish and the paint onto these boards. I'm going to be actually using this Oramask stencil film number 813, and it seems to be a pretty tacky stencil, and it's wanting to pull up the finish of the boards or the wood once I peel it off. So I don't want that to happen. I want these boards to look nice so I don't have to touch them up. So I'm going to seal the whole tops of the boards with Waverly clear matte varnish. This is what I like to use to seal my signs. I get a lot of questions about that too. I get this from Walmart. Super easy. I'm just going to use a foam paintbrush and seal the signs up. Alright, so this is a super quick and easy way to just ensure that you're not going to lose the finish on your signs. So I highly suggest sealing it because it really doesn't take very long and it dries super quick too. Now onto the stenciling. I'm cutting the stencils for the signs right now, and I'm going to take this extra added step again because the wood is just not super smooth. There's quite a bit of texture on these, and like I said, I did not want to sand them down too much. This one I sanded down more, but this one especially. What I'm going to do is a very thin coat of Mod Podge on top of the stencil before I put the paint on. You want to do a very thin coat of this. If you put too much on, it's gonna glob up like Elmer's glue and it's just gonna peel your paint off with it. But if you do a light coat on the whole surface of your stencil and you make sure you get the edges really well, it's gonna seal down the edges of your stencil to the wood. So if you have these rough spots, it's gonna kind of fill in the gaps as well, and you'll have less bleeding fix once you take your stencil off. So this is just Mod Podge, and I'm going to be using the matte kind.